There's a big fat one, a skinny one, and a medium-sized one. I love Formula Drift.
No stranger to drifting, no stranger to competition.
That guy stole my freaking ratchet wrench. I see that. That's mine. He rejects your reality and inserted his own. This is a stimulator, right?
Pilot.
The pole petition.
Matt Shulman is still on top with the 69.
Gotcha! Grip this.
Welcome back, everyone. And let's just get the show on the road. So, Paul, status update. Have you sold anything?
No, I'd be tripping though.
Yeah, you'd be tripping all right. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
what's going on with you, Paul?
I don't know. I have an equilibrium issue. I don't know. I fell the other day, and it's like
Did you get up though?
I did,
Oh, we'll see.
but nobody came to save me.
Gabby,
What's the matter?
Gabby Garbanzo. Did he look out the window and laugh? Hey, man, Paul just fell. Hey,
no,
you
he
gonna
didn't.
drink that?
No, nobody came to my rescue. So I guess like a tree that falls in the woods, does it make a sound? I guess it's that kind of the same thing. So
But did you make a sound?
I don't know. We don't know.
We don't know.
Obviously, I didn't because nobody came.
Did you pass out?
No.
I mean, you're saying you don't know, so I'm just wondering if you passed out.
How do you even know?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I did. Who knows?
Yeah.
I was just walking, then I was on the ground. Maybe I did pass out.
Oh, boy.
I don't know what it was.
Did you go to the doctor?
No.
Do you feel okay?
Yeah, I feel fine. My leg is hurt though.
Oh, okay.
My leg got stuck on something, and I couldn't I'm like, oh, it's like one of those things like you're well, I don't know how many times you trip, but I fall often. So
Really?
yeah, I do. I trip on things a lot. So like my leg, I went to turn, walk, and my foot got stuck, and you're like, foot stuck. Oh shoot. And you feel,
Just keep going the direction you're going.
like I'm going this way.
I don't need that foot.
Then like, here goes. I'm leaving the foot behind, but I'm falling, and I can't catch myself with my other foot. So I end up falling and catching myself on the cabinet. And,
The concrete caught you.
Yeah. So my leg's a little banged up, but I'll be fine. I'll make it through. I will survive.
You're a survivor?
I am a survivor of the thing that was on the floor.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's the other thing. Whatever you tripped on, did that survive?
Yeah, surprisingly.
Oh.
Yeah, because my leg basically crushed it, kind of, because I kind of like pinned my leg between it.
Uh-huh.
So that's what screwed up my leg, is that my leg got pinned between it as I fell. So my leg stayed there, and I fell. So, yeah, it was interesting.
Okay.
So that was my... that's what I'm in recovery now. So
Recovery, okay.
I'm in recovery.
Yeah, he's in recovery.
Yeah, recovering. So
Yeah.
no work on the car as I've broken my leg,
Okay.
And the spirit.
and my spirit is broken, and my hope or my faith in humanity to come and save me.
Gosh. That's right.
Take a move.
No, you're good. Don't worry about it. So, Tim, what you been up to?
Well, outside of work, got the car wired up thanks to Brandon Pico de Gallo, yo.
That harness
Didn't get
is
the
pretty
fire.
nice.
Yeah, harness is really nice. Yeah,
You can like just
you can't
put
even.
all sorts of kind of acid and some.
Yeah, he did. He did a pretty good job. On it.
Sealed.
It is completely sealed, and you can't like the harness is in the car and you can't even really see it. So it like tucks.
That's really
in.
cool.
Yeah, it looks real nice, and it fit really well. But when he was here, we're trying to get started. Wouldn't crank. Don't know. I mean, because you have to calibrate all the sensors and everything. So I was like, there's something's got to be off. So
it
then,
would turn, but it would.
it would turn, right? It would turn, but it wouldn't
start.
start. It wouldn't fire. Anyhow, So going through some of the things, for some reason or another, like when I had to download the firmware onto my laptop, and apparently I haven't updated my laptop in like 3 years. So my son was here, and he's like, so I started out doing the update, and it was going to take like 3 hours to do it. So Brandon wrapped up, and everything looks really good. I mean, the harness looks really nice, and he put relays and all kinds of stuff. He did a good job.
Yeah.
He did Jeff Jones's car.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, he did Jeff Jones's car. He did Jaden Martirana's car.
Okay.
He's done a couple others. So he's something he's doing on the side, and hopefully, turns into a profitable enough business for him that he can do it full time, because I know he likes doing it. Anyhow,
which is like a mil spec harness. He does like mil spec harness.
Yeah,
so it's DR25 wrap on it, so it looks really, really nice.
Yeah, I guess I take some more closer up pictures of it.
Yeah.
And everything fit real nice. Anyhow.
Well, let me ask you this. Did it not start because of the lizard?
I don't know yet, but no.
Maybe there's another lizard.
There's 5 other cylinders, so if at minimum it'll run a 5, but we'll figure that out. But it didn't even try to start. It didn't even try to fire.
Oh. Okay.
So I thought there was a tune on it, but if there was a tune on it, when I downloaded the firmware and I hooked up to it, it erased everything off the Megasplit. So that being said, I've been doing a lot of research to trying to get all the everything dialed in. Plus, I've been going through all the sensors and trying to configure all the sensors and make sure they're all reading accurately and calibrating everything. And it was like with the throttle, the TPS sensor, it was weird because I would plug the TPS sensor in, and it's like when you adjust the values, you try to zero it out. It was like it was going the other way, like.
It was inverted.
It was inverted, right. So I basically, I looked up some videos, Brandon sent me some videos, and I just repinned it.
Oh, you didn't have to do that. I think you can flip the inversion.
You can flip it, but it was inverted, but it was like sluggish. Like you hit the throttle, and like you mash the throttle, and it would do this.
Okay.
Like it wouldn't.
And when you switch the pin,
when I switch it, it's like now it's perfect.
Weird.
Right.
Well, maybe if you thought about maybe flipping the computer upside down.
I didn't think about that. Or just looking at it in the mirror.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
I probably would have done that because you can't invert it on the program. You can't invert it.
Yeah.
And you can't adjust the numbers to do that. But it was just really slow. Like it didn't have any, the sensitivity wasn't there. Anyhow, so I fixed that, repinned that. And then one of the sensor connectors I had to repin too. And now it seems like I got all the sensors dialed in. I got the oil pressure, oil temperature, fuel pressure sensor in there. And I had to relearn like how to. He showed me where the spares were, but you have to go into the program and find the spares and set up their readings, their voltage readings. So I did all that, finished that today. So and then I found somebody that. So and I don't know if the 2J non-VVTi and the 1J non-VVTi are the same settings. So I got to figure that out. I got to look it out because every time I tried to search for the Megasquirt.
You're saying for the timing?
For the starting, for timing and everything.
For the crank?
It uses the same crank, 12 point teeth, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it's the same. So anyways, I'm trying to do that research before I try to fire, because right now I set it up for the 2J settings, the 2J non-VVTi settings that I found online.
Yeah.
That Megasquirt actually provides for you, but they don't give you a 1J one. So I need to do some research to see if that's the right thing. If it is, then I'll fire it up. And see if it starts.
Maybe you just need to subtract 0.5 values. Like grab the 2J values and then just subtract 0.5 on each thing, each parameter.
I think about that. I'll have to give me one. Done.
What does ChatGPT say?
It says I need help.
Okay.
Anyhow, so the wiring harness is done. And will it fire? I'll probably try tomorrow. I'm nervous about it though. Like,
why are you nervous?
Because the motor was the block was seized, and it does that boom, that thump every time it cranks.
It makes a thump.
You want to hear it?
No, I'm good.
You want to hear it?
No.
Maybe somebody out there watches it and say, "Hey, that's definitely not normal." So I don't know if it's making a thump because it's on solid motor mounts and it's just amplifying because it's also on the lift of my garage. There's no.
You sure it's not hitting the oil pan?
I don't think it's hitting. Why would it be hitting an oil pan? No.
Because you remember you.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not hitting an oil pan because there's 2 oil pans. There's a lower pan and an upper pan.
I'm just saying.
No, because the baffle and everything bolts to the bottom of the upper pan, so it's definitely not hitting that. It doesn't sound like it's hitting metal on metal. It sounds like. Do you want to hear it?
Is it
Just do it. Like
the
you
crank?
really want
Actually,
to.
I don't want to crank it because, well, I guess I could crank it. I could try.
What's the problem?
I don't know. I guess nothing could happen, right?
I don't know. What could happen?
I don't know. Let me see.
What about if it starts and it takes off?
Oh yeah, right. It takes off.
What's going on?
I just won't turn the fuel pump on. Okay, so
Okay, I hear it. Yeah,
That's loud.
that definitely sounds weird. I don't know what that is. I hope that's not the crank shaking. That sounds like the crank shaking.
right.
You sure you didn't?
I didn't do anything. That engine was sitting at Jackson's shop.
Yeah, I think
With no
maybe
oil
the
pan.
bearings were seized and now they're spun.
Well, it's not.
I think they're spun.
No, they can't. How can they be spun?
You said the thing was stuck, and then you.
It was stuck, but not the bearings were stuck. What was stuck
You
is
don't
because I do know. I know exactly why it
Well,
was
send
stuck.
it. See what happens. I mean,
That's
what's
what
worse
I'm
can
doing.
happen?
Yeah, so that doesn't sound normal, right? It
That
shouldn't.
sounds weird.
It shouldn't go ta-tan, 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 ta-tan,
Yeah, it
right?
just sounds like rocks.
So yeah, it's like
You can like.
I should just like jump off a cliff. I mean, it's just getting to the point where it's just like this is
Well, you can always put a stock 2J block on there.
no. How much a stock tube? Just the block alone goes for like $5
they're NA
grand.
blocks.
No, I just get it rebuilt.
Can't rebuild. No, okay. Anyways,
No, I get it. That's cheaper than getting rebuilt.
no.
Oh, have you looked how much just a short block 1J goes for? It's like $4 grand.
You just get a 2J NA block, the non VVTi ones. It's already got the. It's already got the 2J rods.
No.
That's what they do.
I don't know. Anyways,
what
so
everybody does.
now I'm depressed.
Aw. What's up with the
Turn
fan?
that off.
No, I have a charger on the battery to make sure that the battery stays charged.
Oh, okay. I was just starting to wonder.
Senses the load and then recharges it for me.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. You good though? Hey, I wanted to ask you, how's the SOAR?
Good.
It's good. Did you
yeah,
get the starter thing? Was it the
we got
starter?
so it was the alternator. Got the alternator
okay.
changed out and it was working great.
Oh, that's good news.
It's running good. No problems.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and it's running good. He just applied to get like a specialty insurance today. Not Haggerty. Haggerty wouldn't take it because Haggerty doesn't insure cars that are possibly daily driven or that aren't in a garage.
Okay.
So he found there's Grundy. Grundy is another car collector or specialized car, classic car insurance. So he filled out the application
What was he
online.
worried about? Like, collecting the same.
Well, so what happens is if he titles it or if he gets insurance as an SC300, 1994 SC300, he gets an accident. They're gonna total it out and give him $3 grand. So you could set the limit that you want to insure it for.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, the more you know.
Yeah.
I didn't know
So
that.
it's more expensive, but
Yeah.
well, he actually at the price that it looked like it came out wasn't that bad. So we'll see if it comes back if he can get it insured. Then he'll drive it. But yeah, it's working great.
Oh, that's good news. Just to kind of give you guys, I've been kind of distracted with this whole AI craze and it's just, I was talking to Tim about it a little bit earlier. Just, can you imagine just a specialized AI system that focused primarily on like AC units and things like that? Well, yeah, but think about it. It's like if you got a chat GPT that's sort of like a general sense, or what if you have an AI system that could teach you how to drift? Per se,
like a.
Like a drift Jeep.
Well,
something like
what
that.
about like something that was, like something that was sit in the car, take the analytics and say that you're doing this wrong. You need to do this right. You need a little more throttle here, and then it coaches you. That'd be interesting.
Some AI judges?
hey.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
See, so that bears a good question. Can the judges be replaced by an
I think the
artificial
AI
intelligence?
can tell if you're distracted, if a hood pin is disconnected or something like that.
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe so.
We'll get to that. But yeah, that do you guys foresee a possibility of judging? Because you kind of get a sense of it already with
X Factor?
D1's DOS system, if I recall correctly, where it's this computerized unit that's on the vehicle and it's tracking the angle, the line, all of those things, and then it's just basically the judges are still there, but they're sort of, I guess, providing X factor points Now, that's sort of something along the lines, but do you think it will get fully replaced by an artificial intelligence of some kind?
I don't think so.
No?
Because you know what, if you started seeing that take place in like gymnastics or surfing,
Some kind of judge
or some
sport,
other
right?
judge sport, or boxing even, right? Then maybe I could see it coming over, but the technology would have to, which it's progressing quickly. But I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, using it as a tool, like the drift box, like you were saying, that system wasn't really, it didn't really judge. It gave points according to the parameters that was preset in it. And then, but we found out that people were figuring out how to cheat the system when they get a high score, and you're like, that shouldn't have been a high score.
That's why they should like do, and if it was a judging system, it should be strategically placed cameras comparing positions on the track, and then the AI analyzes that, then gives a score. You know what I mean? Because the computer's never going to screw up. It knows where that car, visually is.
The speed, the angle, everything.
Yeah, we can count frames and stuff like that to find how fast it's going. They can, do an angle assessment to see where the angle's at. The computer can do that really quickly and not forget what happened,
And
visually.
when you go to protest, it can say, "Well, I'm sorry, but this is where you suck.
You sucked right here.
Right here
Is where you
is
sucked.
where you lost it.
And you went into the wall.
Thank you for your $400."
It's like it's like a vending machine. Like, I dispute. It shoots you back a reject postcard. Rejected. It's a big red face.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Actually, Webb is in the chat. Webb Travis.
Well, Webb, did read your Instagram. You're gonna have to send us your phone number, but read your Instagram messages.
Well, he did mention something. He says that he could make time next Friday to jump in, so we'll have to coordinate.
Yep.
But the other thing that he added, and this is related to the previous topic, is what you're sore. Find a company that gives a guaranteed cash payout. Might be a little bit more expensive, but it will pay off. It is if it's ever totaled.
yeah. So hopefully he gets that done. It's not my sore, it's my son's. I wish it was mine, but
Well, what's to stop you from acquiring it?
money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Money's a problem. It's not a problem. Well, anyways, bills.
Yeah,
I
bills,
find
yeah.
in my life, like there'll be times where I have money and no time, and there's other parts of my life where I have time and no money. I happen to have the time and ability to probably work on the car more than I've ever had in the past, and still be able to work full time, but I don't have the money.
Well, at least you're not disabled like Paul over here.
Yeah.
No.
I have the money. I don't have the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I'm disabled.
Why don't you give me the money? I'll finish my car, and then give me the money, and I'll finish your car.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Good work. All right, so let's get into the meat of the conversation. And
I like meat.
Oh, meat.
Wanted.
Sausage?
What's funny is that I
ham.
originally wanted to kind of highlight and go over everything that went down on Formula Drift. Not only the surprise. Well, I want to say surprise, but
That's not a surprise.
looking at ProSpec and just seeing Cole Richards out of all of the individuals that we had the pleasure
Actually, the
of
whole
coming.
podium was, I think there was, Andy Haley got third.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we had the pleasure of meeting Cole Richards at the Ellis Fest last year in Kentucky.
Oh,
Yeah.
And we were surprised by his abilities and the vehicle that he had, and his performance really stood out.
And fairly new to the sport, too.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
a few years, I think, right?
And I wanted to kind of go over that, and then go over Adam LZ's rise to the top.
That's interesting.
But I think a lot of it got overshadowed with what happened off track. You would just
In the
say,
pits.
yeah, in the
In the
pits,
pits.
yeah, with Chelsea Denofa and Daniel Stuke.
Daniel Stuke.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stuke.
Yeah. So, are you guys aware of everything that happened? Or?
I don't. Yeah, I'm aware of what happened. I don't know. Only thing I don't know, and it's probably is out there, is who initiated the protest. Was it Stuke
Well,
himself, or was
well,
it
it's never- it's
his
never
or was
like-
it his spotters? Right. Like, because it looked like Chelsea went up to Stuke at first, and then kind of like left him, and then went to the pits. So I don't know what did Stuke say? He's like, hey man, talk to them, and then that's when the whole exchange went down. But it was a one-way conversation.
You never know how the team dynamic is. Maybe there's somebody that actually is the head of the team, and Stuke's a driver for the team. I don't know. I know isn't Mike Power? Isn't he also on the same team or something like that?
Not sure, but I just remember that kind of to set things up, because I don't remember entirely the series of events, but I remember that there was so Chelsea and Stuke, they did battle, and something happened between the battle that they had to run it again.
Yeah, well, what do you mean they had to run it again? You mean they ran it 3 times?
It was one more time, right?
Well, I don't see it. So again, I don't remember the series of events, but from what I recall, is that they did one half of the battle, and then the other half of the battle was done. A decision was made, but then Stuke did a protest because of Chelsea's hood, how it was flapping. There was a pin that was missing that kept the hood down, and it was flipping around.
If a hood opens up, doors open up, or something like that. But I guess they were trying to use that.
I think if I recall correctly,
distracting.
Yeah, it was distracting.
That's
okay. Yeah. So the team now again, I don't know what from. Let's just say Stuke's camp. They filed the protest.
Clan. Yeah. Let's use the word clan.
No.
Yeah.
God, relax.
Yeah, the Stuke clan.
No.
And the Denofa clan.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
They filed the protest, and they actually got it into their favor, and they had to go rerun that second half of the battle. And then Chelsea got word of it. He wasn't entirely okay with it, and he felt
addressed the situation.
Well, yeah, he expressed his feelings,
but he addressed the situation before they went back out again.
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
exactly. So he expressed his frustrations
and
over to
recommended them to pack up their stuff and put it in the trailer.
Yeah, to put it nicely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please pack up your stuff and put it away. You will not be needing it.
Yeah. So words were exchanged, and there was posts made on social media.
Several.
Yeah, several.
Yeah.
Before a lot of them got taken down, but I think
there's still a lot up there.
Oh, there's still a lot. Okay. Yeah. And for anybody that's in the scene, I'm sure it has already come across it, and they already know. And then what transpired afterwards, once they got into battle again, Stuke in the chase position messed up going in from outer zone 1 to outer zone 2 and put himself into the wall. And then that prompted Chelsea to make another post to highlight his, I guess you could say, satisfaction of the outcome. And that's it. But the damage had been done.
Yeah, I found I can. Well, I know those people are better with technology than I am, but I can screen record. So I screen recorded the thing. You want to hear it?
No, everybody knows.
Yeah, everybody knows. We don't need a.
Yeah, no, you can. It's
so
all available.
This is my. I know it's available. I get it. I get this. I get it.
We got some questions in the comments that I'm sure people want to. Got one from Darren Bridget, who writes, he's a Team Gangsta Denofa.
Team Gangsta Denofa.
Yeah. He also highlighted no missing bonnet clip.
Bonnet clip?
Bonnet clip.
Yeah. It's not a hood. It's a bonnet.
Exactly. Bonnet. Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Your bonnet was.
Is it the bonnet or the boot? I'm not really sure, but this time it was the bonnet.
Yes, indeed. Yes. And then Ryan Deering, he's in the chat, and he writes, had to rerun the chase because Chelsea chasing Stuke wouldn't be a distraction. Sage said it was a gray area, which is why it wasn't a one more time. It's an argument of what the definition of closed is. And PYSITFT, don't know. But yeah, that's what he wrote.
Pretty young thing.
Huh?
What?
Pretty young. PYT. Pretty young thing.
Okay, I guess.
Well, so this was my thing. This was my take.
Yeah, what's your take on it?
So when I first saw it, first impressions.
Right.
When I saw Chelsea, you see him go over, talk to Stuke in the car, and then he immediately turns over and goes over there and he starts yelling. So this is the thing with Chelsea. he doesn't look angry. Like his angry voice is just a louder version of his, "Hey man, what's going on? Hey man, what's going?" Like it was just an elevated version. So he needs to work on his angry voice.
Okay.
I made a post, so I'm not saying this behind his back, but I tagged him in. I was like, "You need to work on your angry voice," because I really didn't think he was serious. I thought actually didn't realize he was serious until he said, like, "If you want to fight, we'll fight right now." I'm like, "Whoa, he wants to fight." So interesting. So that's the one takeaway. But I personally I don't think anything is wrong with it.
Okay.
Right? My opinion on this is that it shows me the level the drivers are at. And I was telling you earlier that pick a motorsports that hasn't had or doesn't often have interactions like this or instances where drivers are so in the zone that tempers are bound to flare. So it's just showing me that Formula Drift is getting to that level where all the drivers are just, they're putting their all into it. So I think, and plus, me, I always thought, hey, he should have had a manager. I mean, I thought the only thing that could have made it better is that they actually fought.
Oh God.
So that's the only thing that could have made it better. And it would be great. More people want to go see the next Formula Drift because of this. Yeah. And they want to see it live, and they're going to be in the pits. So they're going to be in the pits. They're going to be in the pits. Oh, Chelsea in the pits. Let's go to the pits. It's true. It's true. It's listen.
A crowd following.
Yeah. Everybody's going to have their phones out. But what my point is I think it's great. I think we need more of this.
Paul, what
And
was
we
your
need
take?
managers. So
Managers?
So
Well,
like
he has Reese.
But he has. Well, he did. Yeah, but they're like. They're not.
He's
it's
also
not-
from Philly.
They're
Yeah,
more.
Reese.
Yeah, but they're more like a tag team than the manager. Like they both want to fight. Tag, you're it. Tag, you're it. Anyways,
Yeah.
but like I talked to Jackson. I was like, Chris. I go, so how'd it go? He's like, yeah, it was pretty crazy. I was like, you got to get Jeff Jones more riled up. He's like, no, Jeff he's
happy.
he's too happy. I was like, he needs a manager. Jeff Jones means I could be your manager, and I'll do all the smack talking for you. And hey, I'll get people who'll throw down. It'll be great. I'll bring chairs. I'll even wear like sunglasses, and I'll wear
Jeff
tassels.
Jones' whole thing is about being kind of funny, goofy type thing. It's a whole different.
It's not about that, Ben. You got to get.
agree.
That's why he needs a manager. I'll put rubber bands in my face. We'll do this. If those of you guys have watched wrestling for a long time, you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, so my opinion is I wasn't shocked because it was Chelsea, because that's not something that
normal.
that makes sense. Now Chelsea is like one of those guys that I don't think I've never personally seen him ever upset, but he's been always very vocal. Like he did the whole thing with the
takeover.
the takeover people. He said that thing.
He was gonna
Yeah.
So but that's fine. I don't think he should have to hide who he is, right?
He doesn't hide it.
he doesn't.
I'm saying. Like, I'm talking about other people that maybe, he should be ashamed of himself or unsportsman like this, blah, blah. No.
Right.
I think
that's
I
Chelsea.
would rather have somebody that's genuine. They get mad, and it was a ridiculous thing. I mean, it's like,
He didn't tear down the tent.
He didn't tear down the tent. Well, who tore down the tent?
I'm saying he didn't tear down the tent.
He didn't tear down the tent. But it makes me think back of Harry Tervola.
Oh yeah.
When we would have competitions and you go, Harry, you want to protest that? And he's like, I didn't protest. For what? But so my opinion is I enjoyed it, and I think it's good for the sport.
Okay, Paul.
I mean, I expected it out of Chelsea, I guess. Kind of how he is. He's very off the cuff. I don't expect any filter to come off from him, especially if he's heated. I don't know. I think.
Say it, Paul. Say it.
You don't usually
Don't be ashamed.
No, I think you kind of figure. I mean, I think Formula Drift wants it because I keep on seeing them play up the drama more and more. Like they have like drama reels I've been seeing lately. Like they play up the drama. Like I think there was one even where Chris was involved. Like there was a video of Chris like being upset with Jeff Jones and other things from Jeff Jones' team, like being upset earlier. And it was just like they seem like they want to play up the drama, so maybe they're kind of feeding into this. I don't know. I don't know if they've released any kind of has Formula Drift released anything about this. Okay, I don't think it's. I mean, I think maybe everybody lives in a much more sheltered world than I have. I mean, I haven't really grown up anywhere like anywhere hard, but that's not like an abnormal thing. I mean, I've fought with my friends just the same way and said the same thing. So to me, it wasn't that crazy. But I guess if you're in a professional sport and like you see somebody like you never see James Dean do that,
Right.
but you wouldn't expect it out of James Dean either.
Because you at this point in time you already have a sense of James's character, of how he is.
James
so
is
if he
very
were to start
professional.
all of a sudden going up to another team and try to lay if the smacketh down, you
Yeah.
think like, whoa, what's going on with James? Like,
Yeah,
is he
that'd be like-
on a roid rage or something? What's happening here?
Yeah, I don't think people really understand Chelsea very well, or have known Chelsea for a while to kind of understand where he's coming from. I think he just thought that was a really like BS like call, and he's
Well,
going to
it
call
was.
it out.
It was.
He's going to call you out on it. Like he's not the kind of guy that's going to just like let it just sit. He's going to call you out on it. I mean, he's been doing it for a long time. He's been involved in a long time. So yeah, and he speaks his mind. So you're going to get that, but I'm not going to expect that of Dean. Dean's not going to be coming over, flipping over chairs, and like, you're not going to get that.
He's
out
got
of
the
him.
chair.
You're not gonna
He's
get
got
that.
the chair.
And you probably Chelsea, honestly, is probably the only person there that you probably would get that from. I don't really know anybody else. I mean,
Von
maybe
getting
maybe
close a
Dean
couple times.
Carnage. He looks like he's like a little.
No, what's
his?
freaking Saito? He got in Saito's face. I can't think of his name.
Conrad? No, JTP.
But that
Justin Pollock.
was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
That was a
But
long
I'm
time ago,
saying
but he
that
was younger then, and it's different.
But it's still.
But then even then, Chelsea was back then when Daigo. Chelsea was also I'm going to crash right into him.
Yeah, exactly.
Chelsea was like, I'm going to hit him back then.
Yeah.
And that's what was in the pits. So that was, that's just the way. Yeah, I mean, it's the way it was, the way it is. And, if it's a little, too aggressive for you, I think.
It goes back to what Magic Mike said. Say it's not always about, oh, bro, let's just drift together, tandem together, right?
Yeah.
And he made that comment before. He goes, it's not really all about. It doesn't have to always be like that. And he's right. It doesn't have to always be like that. It's going to be, if you are passionate about winning, or if you're passionate, Pat, what can happen? Yeah, what can happen is that temper is going to flare, and everybody wants to win, right? And they don't want to have to go through just nonsense to get to where they're going. So it's like it was an unnecessary hurdle that was just like, are you serious? Like, give me a break, So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. What about you?
I mean, just the parts you're like, oh well, should they sanction him? Should they do something? I'm like, I don't
what?
know.
There was
Like,
no
for what?
altercation. It was just
nothing-
words.
Nobody got hurt. Words don't hurt anybody, so he didn't say anything that would hurt anybody. He told them to pack up their stuff, and that's what they should have done.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it would have, they would have saved.
they would have
car.
saved themselves a lot
They
of
would have
money.
saved a lot of money.
Yeah,
They
that's
just
true
packed
too,
up the
yeah.
car.
Actually, if you think about it, Chelsea was trying to help them. He was trying to help them. He
they were gonna hit
knew.
the
He
wall.
knew exactly what was going to happen. He knew that what the turn of events were going to be. He's
He
like,
said,
you guys
please
really.
pack up your car so you
Please.
don't crash into the wall.
So maybe he wasn't angry. Maybe I'm right. Maybe he wasn't angry.
he wasn't angry. He was just
And
so
maybe he's like,
passionate.
listen, if you don't leave, I want you to save money so bad that I'm willing to fight you for making sure you save money. Yeah.
Yeah, he was just trying to save them some money.
I'm just trying to fight to keep you guys from falling in the debt.
That's how much he cares.
He does. He cares a lot.
Yeah.
Oh
So
man,
that's
that's a very interesting take.
If
I
they
never
would've just
considered.
listened, they would have just listened.
Yeah.
Maybe they would have saved, $200,000, whoever.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, a lot of money. He hit the wall pretty good.
I went through so many thought processes and there was just my initial instinct was, damn, that's gangster. Like just the way how like Chelsea just went up and just the way how he just dealt with it, and
I thought
then
it was gangster until his voice cracked. Once his voice cracked, I was like,
Yeah.
you might as well do this right away.
Yeah. And yeah, just the way how he went about it, and how like he expressed himself and really kind of made it known that he's not willing to deal with this kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
Because you see it so often, and it sort of brings up another point that how much of this has not come to light before because there can be cameras everywhere. No. And we've heard of instances through the grapevine of people talking. There's like, oh, like such and such this happened, or
there's fire in the pits.
There's heat in the pits. And we're like, what kind of heat and how hot did it get? But we don't know. But see, these are one of the few instances where it's come to light. And I'm sure Formula Drift is kind of like, you know, kicking themselves a bit because it's like, why couldn't we have one of our cameras on there? Because it kind of would tie into what you were saying, Paul, that it's like, if you're witnessing that they're trying to get some drama out of this.
Because they could have played everything except for the I'm ready to fight, bro. And that would have been like all that interaction would have been fine, technically, I think.
But this isn't the first time this stuff has happened. Look at Taylor Hole and his wife. She gets really upset. And there's a lot of words and drama that gets played in the background that nobody sees.
Right.
That stuff I think all that Formula Drift, you guys need to have more cameras in the pits that are just constantly filming. You know, if you want to fly me out there to do it, I'll do it. I may egg it on a little bit. You know, like dude, Chelsea, dude, Stuke is he's talking trash. He said that you weren't serious. And then I'll go to Stuke, I'll like, you better pack your stuff because Chelsea's going to beat your butt, man. He's going to beat your ass. He's coming. So anyways,
Yeah, so that was my one side of it. But then where I sort of started taking issue with it and started to see from a different perspective is that what you mentioned is that once he started mentioning like, oh, if you want to settle this in a fight, I'll go ahead and do that. And I was just like, I don't, like, I took issue with it because it's like, you don't really need to resolve it. It doesn't really need to get to that point. Well, like, if he would have avoided that and not said that and just said, like, hey, look, you know what? We'll settle this on the track and still could, you know, as you saw what happened, I mean, I think it would have even made it even though it was still crazy enough. Like, he made his point. I just think that the fighting aspect of it, or that comment of it, in my opinion, I think it was just unnecessary. And sure, if you want to look at it from the perspective of like, you want that kind of, drama or that kind of tension to kind of fuel up the series and how passionate the competitors are with this.
Hockey. What's the best part of hockey?
Yeah, okay, but
when
that's
they throw
different.
the gloves off in the that's the best part of hockey.
So then I started thinking about it more, and I think I had a conversation with Tim at one point, and Tim brought up a good point, which made me think about, well, look at some of the other sports. Look, for instance, NASCAR, how heated they get, and how fists are thrown. And even though these individuals are sponsored and backed by
huge
national,
brands.
Corporations, brands, you don't see the brands immediately just pulling out of sponsor. Well, maybe to in some instances, but for the most part, they stay with the company. They stay with the car. They stay still sponsoring the driver, and they just take it as like the individual really being, passionate. I got to come up with a different word.
No, but the drivers or the athletes, they're invested so deeply into the sport. And it may not even be about a win or lose, but it's just that you're just dialed in, right? You're so focused, and when that focus gets broken, it's depending on what causes it, right? Mm-hmm. And you're just like, this is utterly ridiculous, or somebody hits you and start. But like I said, name me a motorsport, almost any sport, right? Maybe except for gymnastics. I don't think I've ever seen a fight in gymnastics, but. Maybe any sport that's competitive that doesn't have this. If you have people that are truly invested and truly seeking to be the best, and that's what their goal and their desire is, to be the best at a high level of competition like that, then it's going to happen.
And I think with all of these motorsports, something to consider is that, and I'm sure to some extent the driver is thinking about this, and part of their drive as to why they're so invested is that they know that it's not just them that's on display. It's the whole team. They're worried about the whole team that's putting their blood, sweat, and tears to put this vehicle together so that way the driver can excel. And if something as ridiculous, according to Chelsea, as that is going to jeopardize their run for victory, then of course he's going to get upset. Of course he's going to react the way that he is, because obviously Chelsea is an individual that is like, well, if you're gonna beat me at the track, beat me fair and square. Don't just try to come up with some sort of technicality just to try to get your way. Even though like what we saw even leading up to that point wasn't enough to kind of warrant, like I would assume Chelsea's point of view, to warrant a victory with the way how that's been going on. But then I started thinking about, well, looking at it from Stuke's team's perspective. And you got to take into account, and this is something that we've seen many times before, is that if you're a team and you're looking at you're gonna try to just get a win, whatever means possible.
Yeah.
You got to do whatever you can. If either you're going to try to skirt the rules to get a car that's going to get a competitive advantage, or if you got to utilize the rule book to get some sort of technicality in your favor, then you're going to go for it. And we've seen it before.
Yeah, when the concrete hit the tire.
Yes, exactly.
The track attacked his tire.
Yes.
The concrete made contact with the vehicle.
Right. So in some ways, you can't really fault Stuke or his team for making the effort to try to capitalize on the opportunity to take advantage of a technicality that was not, I guess you could say, made clear in the rulebook.
Well, I don't know. I think that you're right on both points, and that's why I say that I don't see it as a bad situation. I see it as something that is, and people probably disagree with me. I don't really care. I think it's good for the sport. I think it's good for the sport, and it's going to happen. And unless it happens, I think it's more detrimental to Formula Drift. I think this has been a great thing for Formula Drift, at least marketing-wise.
I know a lot of people said they're buying tickets for the next one because of it. So
there you go.
So I don't know.
People love drama. People love drama.
Oh yeah, that's everything. Yeah, everything circles around drama.
You know, like you said, was it necessary or? Well, the whole thing isn't necessary. Formula Drift isn't necessary. This isn't. You know, what I'm saying is like we're doing something we love. It's a passion. It's a hobby turned profession.
Yeah,
right.
It's not.
So it's not like it's not a life or death situation, right? You're not going out there and going through the dumpster fighting for your food. You know what I'm saying? It's not a survive. It's something that they're doing for passion and they're doing it because they enjoy it, and it's a sport. So what? I mean, basketball has their fights, football has their fights, boxing has their fights. But even after, sometimes like Conor McGregor and
Khabib.
Yeah, Khabib. Yeah,
smash your boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna smash your boy.
Did you see what happened with Mayweather and Gotti?
No.
Oh no! After the fight, like the ref, he like stopped the fight for whatever, I forget why, and then they just kept at it even after the ref had stopped it. And then Gotti's camp got into the ring. Mayweather's camp got into the ring, and it was just like this whole scandalous exchange that went down.
It's gonna always happen in sports. So to go after Chelsea, if people are going after Chelsea saying he's unprofessional, I think that's ridiculous. But hey, we're all entitled to our opinions. That's fine. I don't. If you don't like it, fine. If you like it, I'm with you. Simple.
Yeah.
What I thought was interesting though was that, and I think only a couple people would know, is that when he made his statement, the first words he said was "I enjoy drifting," which was his
username, yeah,
which is his handle on SFLD.
That's right.
I thought it was interesting. I'm like, oh man, he really does. Chelsea's handle on sfldrifters.com, the forum that we
was I enjoy drifting.
His handle was I enjoy drifting. And the first thing he started off with in the statement was, "I enjoy drifting." I was like, man, that brought me back to this, like, too bad you can't see this photo, but look at this photo of Chelsea.
Oh, yeah.
Can you put that in the camera?
I took that. Yeah.
Yeah, you took that photo.
Yes, indeed. Hang on. Right there.
Young Chelsea in his Miata.
It's hard to see. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, very young Chelsea in his Miata at a Turtec event. And Ben, the picture that Ben took, way back, way back, and the handle on there was "I enjoy drifting." So it's like, man, that kind of made that
full circle.
That put a lot more, like, anybody that read that didn't really think about, okay, he enjoys drifting. Okay, yeah. No, this guy's poured his entire. He gave everything to this. There was no turning back. That's why he's so passionate, and that's what people don't understand. They think he's a guy that enjoys drifting. No, he's a guy that literally went, I am doing everything to drift. He didn't pursue anything else. He threw his whole life at this, and if it didn't pan out, he had nothing else. And that's why you get that passion, is because he literally, I don't think there's that many guys that's doing this that threw their whole life at it like he has, since he was a young kid. Maybe he was 16 back then or 17.
I'm not
He
sure.
must have been pretty young back then. That was when he was in the Miata. So yeah, in that freaking car, putting all his money into it, moving out to Texas, doing the Texas series, and then getting into Formula Drift and doing all that. So it's just like, there's a lot of passion there. So that's why you get that. I think you get it out of him. So that's something that people don't understand. So that's when I read that in the statement, I'm like, oh yeah, what he's trying to say is that I have given everything for this, and that's why I am so passionate about it. And that's why it's just what you see, The fighting thing is,
It's just a plus.
I think I've said that to Gabriel once.
Oh boy. So then here's actually before this question comes up, I kind of want to read a couple more comments. It's interesting, the feedback. Let's see. Darren wrote a few funny videos on YouTube's. Yeah, we've saw a couple.
The Debo one is pretty funny.
The
Friday.
Mm-hmm. Webb wrote, FD officials let him out on track with that flappy hood. It was checked before he left the line. From what I heard, the rulebook was ambiguous and needed clarification. Hopefully it is done before the next round. Darren wrote, Denofa's passion is one of the reasons he watches FD. And then bet that wall hurt when he hit it. He's talking about Stuke.
Yeah.
Tide Shift wrote, the voice crack killed me.
Yeah. The voice crack was like, okay, he lost it now. He had some power there, and then, hi, I want to fight. I was like, oh man, you lost it now.
Then Webb wrote, St. Louis a few years ago when Chelsea said he was going to drive the way he wanted to, and the judges will have to adjust. He ended up winning, I think. And then Darren wrote, someone said Stuke's team puffed up to fight, hence why Denofa wanted to throw down, but there's no proof.
So
yeah,
that's a good point. We only saw the camera at Chelsea, so we had no idea if somebody was standing up and he's like, dude, okay, you want to fight? Let's fight. So we have no idea. That's a good point. Very good point.
Yeah, didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because oftentimes when you see some of these like online videos where like there's an altercation going on, it's like, well, what happened a couple of seconds before? Like, what led up to it? What was the context?
Right. Yeah.
What was the exchange beforehand? So that could
very good point.
That's a very good point. I think so the question I wanted to bring up is that, do you think or feel FD should make any changes to the rule book in regards to altercations? I'm sure Tim's going to say no.
There's going to be something in the rule book after this, I would assume.
You would assume?
I would assume there's going to be some kind of sportsman-like conduct.
There already is. There already is. There's a sportsman's conduct in the rule book. Yes.
Really? I didn't know.
Yeah. You have to behave in a manner that's professional. So it's not like you can't say I want to fight. It's not like detailed like what you can and can't say, but there is a sportsmanship clause in the rule book. But kick back to SWD, Road Atlanta.
Okay.
I forget who was driving the Supra.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Kaufman was going to, they were in a top 16 battle, SWD. Ryan Kaufman was chasing. The driver in elite position was driving a Supra. I can't remember. I don't know if it was Rad Dan. But anyhow, the driver that was in elite position, he did not initiate till the very first clip.
Yeah.
And Ryan was initiated all the way down, following this guy driving straight. And then the guy was going so slow, finally initiated the first clip, Ryan stalled.
Yeah.
Or spun. They faulted Ryan for a spin. I mean, that's utterly ridiculous. That was probably one of the worst acts of judging I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And then, of course, right, Ryan, Bill, I mean, we're all there, right? So we're like, this is ridiculous. Bill went to battle the same guy. The guy spun out in front of Bill. Bill, as he's passing him, sticks his finger out the window, flicks him off.
Oh, hello.
Bill got a warning for that. I don't know if he got fined or because he ended up, I don't know, I forget exactly if he got third place or first or second or whatever it was, but they reprimanded Bill for that, just giving the guy the finger. So there is a clause in there, and but like I said, I don't think now, if there was a fight, I think whoever lost should have to pay the penalty. I mean, you got to put some skin in the game, right? It's got to be some incentive to win.
Yeah.
And I can write that. I can amend that section if only if would like.
I mean, you have different sports with different rules. I mean, for instance, hockey, you have both of the. I mean, if there's a fight that goes on, then both of the individuals, they allow them to hash it out.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, they both get put into the penalty box, and then afterwards, they're allowed to go back in.
Yeah.
So there's that example. There's another example where, depending on the severity of the fight, for instance, of a soccer match or football, they'll get ejected, and they may or may not get fined, or they may get banned from a couple of games, but then they're allowed back in.
Or baseball, right? You charge the umpire. He makes a garbage call, and they get in altercation. A lot of times, the umpire will say, "You're out of here."
Well, if you're going to charge the umpire, for sure, admittedly, they're
the
going to get
managers
out.
charge the umpire and start yelling and getting into argument all the time.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Yeah. But then do you foresee something like that where they'll make a change, or they'll say that if you do something unsportsmanlike, you'll either get fined or you'll either get points taken away from the standings?
I don't think so, because I think they would have came out with official statement already if they were going to do that. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
Hey, you think about it, like in professional sports, if somebody was there with the side view cam, I'm sure if you look there, I'm sure there's a lot worse things being said on the side of professional
of
sports
course.
than anything that Chelsea ever said right now. Like, that's like not even like, no. Like football, I'm sure those guys
Oh, they're
trashing
trashing
each other's life.
I played
yeah.
football.
Did you?
Yeah, in high school. And one thing that guys would do, especially if you're on the defensive end, the guys charging, almost every time they would punch you in the stomach, going right by. Yeah, try to knock the wind out of you.
Oh,
I mean, it's what you do to try to win. I mean, that's uncalled for, but but it's an example of what you're talking about. Paul's talking about.
Like,
That's going to always happen.
Yeah,
But
I don't know.
it's sports. Whatever, let it go.
So then you have to wonder, is this all a facade? This notion that everyone's good with one another, everyone's trying to root for one another.
No,
it's
dude,
like, you're cool, man. I'm happy you got the win.
No,
and it just seems like
cool. Not everybody's cool. Not everybody's cool with each other. Drifting as a hobby, like going and enjoying drifting, pretty much everybody's cool with each other. But competitive drifting, how can you be cool with everybody?
Yeah, but there's still times you go to an event and you're like, oh, I can't freaking stand that guy. So but that's people. You can't love everybody. It's not going to happen. Yeah, whatever. I think the vast majority of the professional. So this is the thing also, is you have some drivers that are newer in there and they don't want to do anything to ruffle any feathers. They don't want to have any negative light. So they're like walking on eggshells, I think, trying to maintain that professionalism, right? And like not ever say anything wrong and be like that poster boy of drifting or whatever the sport is. Then you have the other guys that they're in it to win it, and their emotions get the better of them, but that's just their personality. It comes down to personality too. Everybody's got different personalities. Some
Remember last year when Vaughn came at, or was it last year or was it the year before, when Vaughn came at ASBO and then ASBO went training with...
oh, yeah, of course. We had that thing with Tim.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, so there was that interaction back then. So, I mean, it happens, It happens. Pressures, I mean, people get heated and stuff happens in the pits. I've seen it with my own eyes.
That's why they call it the pits.
The pits. It's the pits.
Okay.
It stinks.
I'm just wondering if, like Paul, what you mentioned is, are they going to start putting additional budget towards the cameras to try to put it onto the pit area?
I think they're kind of figuring out that they need to do something, because they've been doing this for what, 20? They said
20 years.
20 years, and it's kind of like, well, we got to do something different, because it's working, but it's not like working.
It's not moving any further.
It's not really moving much further. You're not taking that, growing it by 60%, 70%. We're just like 5%, a little 2%.
Probably not even. No.
That's probably not that much growth. So you really need to.
They did start. They did start like that fantasy league, or they're starting the drift fantasy thing. You saw that?
They started.
Yeah, you can start betting on it now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know they did the podcast now, so they're trying to get people involved in the podcast. So they're doing that.
But I felt like that was so out of left field.
Well, they have that new guy. I don't know what his name is. I don't watch podcasts, but the guy that does the podcast also does the announcing with Jared.
No, I know that, but
Okay.
I'm talking about the betting thing.
Oh, the betting thing.
Yes. That was so out of left field. I was
I didn't know they did
what is
betting.
this? What's going on over here? They're like, what is this, like DraftKings? What's happening? It's like, scan the QR code on the display in order to actually place your bets. I'm like,
Place your bets.
yeah, what am I betting on? Like,
I wouldn't want to bet on a judge sport. What the freaking hell? I'd rather go bet on a drag race.
Yeah.
oh, there you go.
The hell? Betting on a judge sport? Then I really would be angry, and I'd be fighting people in the pits. I'd be like, Chelsea might not do something, but I'm I'm going to definitely throw down.
I imagine
I
Paul.
got $100 on this.
I imagine Paul going to one of the events is like, where are the judges? Where are the judges? How dare you? Oh, boy.
Man.
With a messed up ankle and all, he'll just be like,
How much can you bet? Because you can.
I haven't looked. I'm curious to see.
Intimidate some people.
Well, yeah, of course you can.
Got $1,000 on this, pal. You better lose.
Well, they got to be careful because when
Sabotage.
That's what I'm
yes,
saying.
exactly. That's what I was going to bring it up. Sabotage.
That's bringing money into it, man. That's a whole different game.
Yeah.
You're talking about breaking somebody's legs. You may break somebody's leg.
Well, they could start putting limits on people's access to the pit area. Because right now it's pretty much open.
Yeah, now you can just
people can just walk about to get a close look at the cars, but then
down his intake.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God!
Oh boy!
Not sure what happened there.
Yeah, I mean that'd be wild.
No, this isn't a slot machine.
That's just where the bolts go.
Oh man!
Oh, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
no, you could do. Yeah, no, there's almost a lot of times you'll see those cars with nobody next to them. Like, there's money on it. I mean, top 4. I mean, I'd be looking. Where are they? Shove a potato in the exhaust.
Great stuff in the
Yeah,
exhaust.
great stuff in the
Expansion foam.
cut a brake line. Man, this is getting too much money get involved. Yeah.
Maybe somebody in the pit area before Chelsea took off released one of the pins.
Or mirrors with shining light in people's
Oh
eyes.
yeah!
I won $5,000.
Yeah, that's not good. That's a bad idea. Why are they doing that?
I don't know.
put money in
They're
it,
trying to
man.
reach out to different demographics. They're
People
trying
probably
to
aren't as twisted as us thinking about that.
Well, I know
Yeah.
what I'm doing now.
Spending a
I
lot
have
of money.
$10,000 and I know where I'm putting it.
I just need one of those green laser pointers. From
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Be sitting in the.
You've had actually. I've heard instances in baseball games where women will actually try to flash the pitcher to try to throw them off.
I don't know if that'll work for me.
Yeah, you're using scenarios that don't.
Yeah, we don't have.
There's
that.
no-
I'm just saying it falling into the idea of people trying to throw off the individuals distracting, or like for instance on the NBA when
He does this. He has like glasses, like they have like swirl shirts. They do all these kind of weird things. behind the basket.
Yeah.
You got those things going on. So
never
a lot of things can happen.
But you know what that says
What?
is that, well, aside from the betting thing, is that you have people that are so passionate for this word passion. That's the word of the day. That's the word of the
episode. Yeah.
day. Yeah. That people are so into
Willing to put their livelihood on it.
livelihood, but also like they're just really want their person to win or their team to win, and they're trying to do whatever they can to help facilitate that victory.
Of course. You have a whole team of individuals that are, you're here many times. It's like, they dropped the subframe and replaced it in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
That's not.
But that ties into the idea of like how emotionally and physically invested these individuals are to make, the driver achieve a victory. Because it's not only the driver that's winning, it's also the whole team.
Yeah.
But in any case, one Wow, I can't believe that was a interesting discussion, and that, like I mentioned, it's sort of that small instance that took, I don't know, maybe like less than 3 minutes.
Not even, yeah. It was like
I mean,
50
that
seconds,
really,
so.
I think, in my opinion, like overshadowed
The entire
a lot
event.
of what happened with the event. I mean, and it really took away like Adam
Wait,
LZ's
you're
achievement.
like, oh, that's right. Adam won.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I thought Chelsea
Yeah.
won. Damn it! Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Adam took out
Chelsea.
Chelsea, and just and I'm sure, and he was dialed in. Adam LZ was just dialed
Well,
in.
didn't he have an event like a couple weeks before at the same track?
I
Pretty
don't
sure he
remember.
did. I'm pretty sure.
Oh
he did.
yes, he did.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of got to drive like really. I mean, obviously, everybody got to drive the track, but I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. He got really dialed in the event before, and then just had to lay it down.
That's true.
What Gabby was saying is that he thinks that with Vaughn driving the car also, he thinks that Vaughn is actually making more car adjustments to the car that is allowing Adam to do better in the car. Like Adam really didn't understand maybe what to adjust in the car, and now that Vaughn's driving the car too, is making the adjustments and adding and making the car easier for Adam to drive, or where Adam can perform better. I don't know, but that's one of the things that Gabriel was saying, and I'm like, oh, I didn't think about it that way. It could be that is that they're Vaughn's really working on the tuning of the car, and Adam's just like here to drive. But Adam could also be getting used to the car, or maybe they made some adjustment that makes it easier for him to drive now. I don't know. But obviously he went and proved himself. I mean, he did great, right? So it's took out Chelsea, and didn't he take out Dean?
Dean, yeah.
He took out Dean too. So yeah. Did well.
So LZ to the top of the podium. Congrats to him. I mean, I think it's been a long time coming, and I'm sure how can I say this? Shut up a lot of the naysayers out there, and I'm sure we're
because he was going out in top 32, going out in top of the 32, and over and over and over again. So it really solidified him, I think. So I'm sure he was happy.
Yeah, and Cole Richards. I mean, you know what's funny? And first off, one thing I noticed is that Jared, kind of did the same thing you did. Is you naturally just don't want to say Cole. You want to say the full thing. You want to say Cole Richards. And then he was doing that too. But the other part that really made me laugh was that he messed up his name like several times. Like he couldn't, I don't understand. Like Cole Richards is an easy name to remember, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But he kept saying like Colin Robinson or like...
Colin Robinson?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I mean... Maybe he had a long. I mean, look, Jerry's had a long day and a long weekend actually. And
you can only have so many drinks before you start.
Yeah, doing both announcing for Pro Spec and Pro 1, and then it was towards the end, and all of a sudden he was just like firing off all these different names, and then they had to correct him a couple of times, and he's like, "Oh, it's been a long weekend." I'm like, "Yeah, I can't blame him for that." But
yeah, no, those Pro Spec weekends must be pretty intense with all that announcing, because they start on like Thursday and then go all the way through Saturday. That's a lot. Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah.
With that said, one other comment that too actually, Web Rose goes, "Tell Paul I love him, but he's dressed like opposite world. Where's Waldo?"
I am.
I can see that.
I'm Where's Waldo? But I'm really easy to find.
Where's Waldo? He's everywhere.
Where's anybody else? Waldo ain't everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
There's that. And
Yeah, my wife bought the shirt. I'm like, what is this?
so she can track you easier.
Yeah. Easy to find.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess so. Man.
Yeah. Then Darren wrote, "Yeah, but look at Jimmy Hook's girlfriend, winner, $1,200 off Adam." Oh,
What?
okay.
Oh, for the fantasy thing.
I guess so.
Oh.
$1,200.
Jimmy Oak's girlfriend knew like he was going to win?
I guess so.
Wow. That's interesting.
Well,
That is interesting.
Yeah. Well, I had a feeling
That's suspect.
I had a feeling Adam was gonna go take out Chelsea and so forth.
Really?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Exactly. certain individuals that were really rooting for Chelsea. But then
that's
I
right.
was-
You had a FD watch party.
yeah, what's one of those? And
We got some footage of that celebration too, don't we?
that cannot be released, sir.
I
I
don't
do
know.
not give authority
You
for
don't
that
give
kind of
authority.
footage to be released.
You don't have the authority to use
No. Paul, you
no.
need to send me that footage too. By the way.
Oh, Paul has the footage.
I have the
You better
footage.
be very nice. You better not get in a Tesla because we still owe you one.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. We
still
got
owe
we
you
got it
one.
coming for you too. So it'll be out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You're gonna get it.
Yeah, it's Are you trying to say that X is gonna give it to me?
Yeah, X is gonna give it to you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's a long story, but I'll tell you more, guys, about that afterwards. But, aside from that, at some point we're gonna go over some details regarding the Ellis Fest event happening in Kentucky.
Yeah.
There's
soon.
already some work already starting to come around to get that sorted out. I do want one thing I can mention. There's going to be at least 60 drivers.
Oh wow.
So it's going to be an event.
Oh awesome.
If you're in the Kentucky area, in Nashville, whatever, Tennessee, you don't want to miss it. It's the
It's
event.
worth the drive.
Yeah, it's one of a kind. It's one of the best experiences that I've ever encountered and had the pleasure of being involved in. Whether you're just going around, even if you're not a fan of an LS,
Yeah, I don't even really like V8s at all, and I had a great time there.
I have to now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
What you're putting together, oh gosh. Talk about crazy, but so it's one of those things that you don't want to miss it, but more information will be released soon, in particular the live stream aspect of it, because there are some things that I foresee that we may have to prepare for. And kind of not only for us to prepare, but for the audience, for the viewers that they're going to have to prepare for. Because it may not all go according to plan. But hey,
really?
Whatever.
What?
The heck are you saying?
Well, think about it
Wait,
like this.
hold on. You just totally being sound like you know something we don't.
Okay, think about it like this. Like, you have more than 60,000 people trying to access this one cell tower that doesn't have the capacity for half of that. Half of the people, subscribers that are
We'll figure it
latched
out. We'll
onto
figure it
that
out.
thing. So, yeah, more details will come out soon, but be sure to stay tuned for that. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. It was a great chat. Hopefully, Chelsea or whoever decides to come across him starts to hit the gym because or starts getting some MMA training.
Maybe Stuke can go visit. Who was it? Who was that? Jonathan Castro, right? That's where Osbo went training boxing after.
Oh,
You remember?
yeah.
So maybe we send Stuke to Jonathan Castro's boxing training.
Yeah, we might see that. That'd be great. But folks, want to thank you for tuning in, and we hope to catch you next time. Take care and good night.